us.
And this is Cottonwood Trail, also in Spartanburg County, and you could see all the damage along that road with the trees just falling across it. It's impassable. I mean, you don't even want to try. That we've been telling you all afternoon long, don't even try to get out there. That car just stuck in some of that sitting water as well.
And we're getting an update. Isaac mentioned this about our western North Carolina mountain towns and the concern up there. Swain County schools now canceling classes for tomorrow. So if you are in Swain County, they just made the call. They are going to close tomorrow. The concern in the mountains we see during this, and it takes us a while to get the reports because it's a pretty good ways up there. We're talking mudslides, landslides, and those block those areas. And a lot of those kiddos live in very rural areas. And if they do have damage, it takes a while for DOT crews to get up in the Swain County and those mountain areas to get them cleared. So I'm sure out of just extreme precaution, Swain County schools will be closed tomorrow. Here in the upstate, this is Cottonwood Trail in Spartanburg County, and you can see that roadway completely blocked here from Tom Cawthon sending this in to us. What will happen is they'll have to get, fire departments or just some neighbors will get chainsaws out, start to clear this debris. But again, we're approaching 4 o'clock. It'll be getting dark here in the next couple of hours. Our big thing to you is stay off the roads tonight if you have to. We've seen sinkholes, we've seen washouts, and we will continue to do so. You could be on the news in a very bad way if you try to venture out tonight because you could find yourself stuck. Trees are coming down as well. And we're looking at I-85 here, and things are looking good at 4 o'clock. Chris Scott's in with us. We're about to start the 4 o'clock news, and he'll update us on what he's hearing on the roads. And this is out in Anderson County as our crews clean the lens. But engineers are out here, the local fire departments assessing the damage here. But you can see that roadway there, Shackleburg Road, will be closed for weeks as DOT figures out how to fix this. And of course, they have a pipe bust as well.
Yeah. We did get some new information just in. The flash flood warning has been extended now to Anderson, Pickens, and Hart counties until 7 o'clock. Tonight.
And this is a look at radar here. We want to flash for you. This is just an idea showing the rain is still here. We're not out of the woods, folks. We might be out of the woods for severe weather. We know it's extending down to Columbia area where USC has now canceled classes for the rest of the day. But I believe this radar is where we saw tornado warnings earlier today. Is that what we were looking at? I mean, that's... Wow. And Kendra, we talked about this. I know, Isaac, you guys talked about it on the morning show, and Isaac mentioned earlier that it looks like the storm overperformed. I mean, it did what we thought, but it looks like it did a little bit more, Kendra.
It really did. I mean, sometimes you talk about flooding issues and, you don't see it in every part of the area. We've seen flash flood warnings for just about every single county, especially along I-85 and northward. Here are all of those flash flood warnings currently, and you can see right up along the 85 corridor where it's been the worst. We have flash flood emergencies. That just doesn't flow off the tongue very well because it happens very rarely. Greenville, Easley, Clemson under flash flood emergencies. And the Pickens ones are out until 5 o'clock today, I believe, and then 9 o'clock for the Greenville one. And Cody, I know you have some more information for us.
We just want to say, if you're just now joining us, we are beginning the 4 o'clock news here on Fox Carolina. We have been on the air literally since the morning news. So right now we are going to kick off the 4 o'clock news.
Fox Carolina News starts now with a breaking news alert.
And that breaking news is continuing coverage right now, Tori, of severe flooding, and we have a lot of damage throughout the upstate.
Yes, you can see here this live picture from our crew out in the field. Flash flood emergency right now happening in Pickens County, in Greenville, Anderson, really all across the upstate.
That's right. That's our main concern. We have roads closed. We have people being urged to evacuate some low-lying areas. You need to look out for these right here, folks. If the roadway is blocked, do not go around them. Troopers are out, police are out, and they will go after you. So do not do that. If it is not for your own safety, you will be ticketed as well, folks. They're not playing around because we have trees down, washouts, and sinkholes. Good afternoon. I'm Cody Alcorn and Lewis here with Tori, and it's been a very busy day.
It has been wall-to-wall coverage, and we do want to say a shout out to our meteorologists because they have been here tracking this all morning, all afternoon, and they're the ones that are following this storm and the damage that has been done.
And we have team coverage at this hour. We're going to bring it up right now. We have crews all about the area. We have our team meteorologist in the Weather Center, Amber Worthy, and again, our team of reporters have been out and about Spartanburg, the hardest hit area. We believe a tornado did touch down there within the city of Spartanburg.
We do want to start with our chief meteorologist, Kendra Kant, and as well as Isaac Williams. What is the latest happening right now from the Weather Center, guys?
Well, the good news is that the severe weather threat is over for our area. Tornado watch has been removed at this point, but we are still looking at residual flooding, and rain is still coming down in those areas that we've had such bad flooding already, Isaac.
Yeah, and it's a kind of a medium intensity. It's not overly strong, but it's really stronger than it needs to be. And we caught a break in Pickens County, but it looks like it's starting to fill back in just a little bit. And we are going to continue to watch and see how this evolves, Kendra. But I'll tell you, the heavier rain, at least moderate rain, is starting to develop back toward Clemson and Easley here soon.
Yeah, not what we want to see, but we want to emphasize that this is not as heavy as it once was. In fact, it's a shadow of its former self, but it's still aggravating the situation. Those trying to get out and clean up, getting those power lines back up, getting the trees back up, or trees cleaned up. And that's going to be difficult when it comes to this heavy rain coming down, or at least moderate rain. Light across Pickens County, across the mountains, we're looking at light rain, but that steady rain is going to continue to be an issue over the next couple of hours. We are seeing signs that we're going to see some improvement as we get toward later this evening, because we'll be looking at the threat for flash flooding going down. I do want to show you the latest Futurecast model. This is our high resolution model. It's not initializing great. I don't expect to have that kind of heavy activity at 6 p.m. this evening. But notice, though, we still have the light to moderate rain across much of the upstate. And then as we put this into motion, Isaac, notice that it clears out pretty fast. Here's 9 p.m. Do notice, though, there's still going to be a little bit of lingering energy here as the front's pushing through. We may see a couple of heavy downpours develop south of I-85. Shouldn't last too long. Here's 11 p.m. and pretty much done with any meaningful rainfall. So this is a good thing for us starting to dry out. But we still have flash flood emergencies for Greenville, as well as Easley, as well as Clemson, because of the fact that the rain has come down for so long and we have rivers that are going to be rising, as well as just a lot of folks around. These roads are closed. It's just a dangerous situation because of all the water that's out there. And again, here's all the rain that just keeps streaming on in. We can't seem to get rid of it, but at least the heaviest rain and the thunderstorm activity has moved on off. And luckily for the Columbia area, it appears it's going to be moving through without stalling like it did in our area. That's what was the big issue. We had this swath of rain sitting on top of many areas for hours, and that's what led to so many problems for our region. So again, still seeing the widespread rain, but Isaac, I tell you, we don't want to have this, but it's much better than it was, and we will see a clearing trend soon. So there is hope for later tonight.
Absolutely, and you mentioned a clearing. We are still seeing rain over the area, but the back edge of this wet weather is nearing Atlanta. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and the back edge of this wet weather will continue to make a slow progression towards our area. Again, the rain intensity as well east of us in terms of the very heavy rain that you mentioned, Augusta, Columbia, east of Charlotte. That's where the heaviest wet weather will be. But you can continue to see that we are watching how much rain has fallen. This is an official measurement, so this is not a radar estimation. These are actual observed totals. 4.37 inches of rain falling at the downtown Greenville airport. Over 3.5 inches of rain there in Spartanburg. The same for Anderson. The same for Clemson. Again, these are official observations. There are pockets in there that are higher with the rain totals, and that's really why we have seen so much flooding. And again, the darker yellows and oranges indicating that rain accumulation of over 5 inches in some cases. So we know that at least 4 inches of rain fell, but radar indicates potentially some higher totals in some of those spots. So again, as we look at the severe weather risk for tomorrow, it's all done. Is this going to last into Friday? No, the answer is not. That's great news. We are not looking at this be, an extended event in terms of severe weather, but the flash flooding threat, while we will see that continue because of the water levels are just so high, the downpours are going to become less and less into the evening. And this is 4 o'clock in the morning. So we still may have a shower or two around, but notice how the sky's cleared because we're getting some drier air finally in from the west. In fact, your forecast tonight calls for those showers to eventually end. It's going to be several more hours. And look at these temperatures. We were near 70 earlier today in some of our area toward the Midlands. We're dropping back to the 40s, around 44. Much cooler winds out of the northwest at 5 to 15. Mountains getting into the 30s. Some snow near the Tennessee border. Of course, it's a colder day, but let's maybe wake up tomorrow morning to maybe some sunshine out there with temperature about where it should be for early February. You can see that colder air is trying to get here, but 84 insane degrees in Jacksonville, Florida. That just shows you that warmth and humidity really fueled this severe weather and flash flooding outbreak across the upstate and northeast Georgia areas. Again, technically speaking, we have a flash flood watch until midnight. It's around midnight that we will start to see the threat for flash flooding imminently start to go down just a bit. That's some good news, but our entire region is in a threat for flash flooding all the way until midnight tonight. It's because we continue to see residual light rain that continues to fall. It's again kind of aggravating our ongoing flooding situation, but at least it's not nearly as heavy as it was, which is some good news. And of course, Chris getting a break from the morning show and watching traffic for us, very vigilant, and we're going to check in with him soon. We're going to check in soon with Chris, and he'll have the latest on the upstate accidents. But for now, though, we do want to pitch it out to Jarvis, who I believe is on scene of some damage in Spartanburg.
Just zone and pan. Pan and zone. Okay. Well, hey guys, we're here at the Crown Point Apartments. I can tell you things are very chaotic here. I've been here a little over an hour. As I was pulling into the apartment complex, I saw several people that were walking away from the apartment complex with their bags in their hands. I'm going to step out the way so you all can see what I'm seeing right now. We have dozens upon dozens of trees that are down right here in front of you. Several cars that have been smashed, the windshields, the back windows busted out due to a lot of these trees. Looking over here at this building, you can see that workers have actually put a couple of tarps on this building. This building definitely sustained some damage. There are a lot of windows that have been busted out. Also walking throughout the apartment complex, I did see crews working to cut down some of the trees with their chainsaws just to clear the roadways. Now, I have not heard of any injuries right here in this apartment complex, but again, there's a lot of damage here, a lot of buildings that have been destroyed. I talked to one lady, she said that her apartment was destroyed and she was having to walk away with her bags in her hands and some of her belongings just to find somewhere to stay tonight. So a lot's going on out here. We've been talking to some people. I spoke with one guy who said that he saw a tornado go right past his window. He said that it all lasted about 10 seconds, but that 10 seconds seemed like a very long time. He described it as a million lions actually all roaring at one time. So you can imagine the things that are going to come out of this, the stories that are going to come out of hearing all of this. Again, I have not heard about any injuries here. We have a lot of people that are still coming in and going out at this point, a lot of trees that are down. So we're going to be here monitoring these conditions and definitely bringing you guys any updates. We're live here in Spartanburg. I'm Jarvis Robertson, Fox Carolina, the 4 o'clock news.
Jarvis, thanks so much. We are looking in Converse Heights where you can see this massive tree was uprooted. We have a lot of trees on homes there as well. This is Glenland Avenue. Again, this is what we are seeing across the area. Fortunately, this tree just missing this home, but just across the street, just down the road, we can confirm in that area that a tree did topple onto a brick home. Fortunately, no one was hurt. And more trees are down. Look at this along the Converse Heights area. We are seeing trees on top of cars blocking entire roadways as well. We caught up with at least one person who lives there as this storm just rolled through.
Looked out the window and everything on my front porch became airborne and flew into the wall of our next door neighbor's house. Looked up and the ancient tree across the street had fallen all the way across the street and onto my Honda.
And I do have two things I want to get to from breaking news from my newsroom. Mosaic, the plant, they are in Berea. We are told there are water rescues underway right now for some people trapped. This is there along Sulphur Springs Road, the Mosaic Color Plant. Also, we just got word the Pickens County Emergency Management will be holding a news conference at 5:30 this afternoon about ongoing emergency operations due to the flooding. They are on OPCON 1, which means they are on full alert. A disaster or an emergency is imminent and is occurring in the county. They say all of their operations center is fully activated. All emergency personnel has been activated as well. So again, 5:30 in Pickens County, we will bring you that briefing. I'm likely either here on the air or through our free Fox Carolina News app. We'll have much more on that in just a couple of minutes.
And we want to show you this video from I-26. This is in Spartanburg County, and you could see those overturned tractor trailers from earlier this afternoon. This was taken as that tornado warning was issued earlier today. The video sent in to us by Adolphus Hardy, and you really can't even imagine what that felt like when they had to be driving down that highway, seeing those trucks overturned from the winds, and we just know how powerful it really was. And not far from there, a flooring store actually saw some significant damage earlier this morning. We want to show you that video that we have here. This is where the roof was torn off from the building due to those high winds. Also in Spartanburg County, we know Spartanburg County saw a lot of that significant damage. Here's a look in that same area. Again, a viewer sent us these photos earlier this morning. Another roof was damaged, torn off from a building. A tractor trailer also had flipped in a parking lot here. So it was just sitting there and actually flipped over. The business also saw a lot of windows blown out from those strong wind gusts and walls just taken down. We do have damage to show you from Converse Heights area. This is also in the city of Spartanburg. This is from Tom Cawthon. You could see this is in a neighborhood where a lot of trees were uprooted. They were lying across the roadways there. Some of them even toppling over some of the houses in that neighborhood as well. So we are monitoring any injuries that may come from this.
And right now, we know at least one business in downtown Spartanburg, Groucho's Deli, had the windows blown out of it. We caught up with folks who were inside this store, this restaurant, when that storm rolled through.
It got dark, and that's whenever I ran. But like I told you, whenever it yanked open the door for the second burst is whenever I looked out here and I saw the glass flying, and through the window I saw what I thought was like a tornado. Like it was almost like a white gush of just wind, and yeah, it was crazy.
No word yet on when the restaurant will be back to normal. They have a lot of cleanup ahead of them. And